All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is take off this little piece that's over the back that holds the air filter on. So we should have 2 screws, one on each side for that. All right, there's one. And there should be one on the back side here also. Okay. Now we'll pull this part out. All right, not so bad. Let's get a close-up here of what's going on. So we got our carb here. We got some linkages. We got the choke link over here, which I just disconnected, so that was easy. Then we got 2 bolts on the back we got to pop out, and then we'll have our throttle linkage to pull out also. So let me get these 2 bolts out of the back, and we'll come back at it. All right, so I got the 2 bolts off. I put a screwdriver in here and just go back and it popped the carb off of the engine there. I got this stupid throttle control that's in my way now. I'm not sure. I got to get that off of there somehow. Not sure if I can wiggle this out or if I should get that throttle rod out before I try to wiggle it out. All right, so I just wiggled it a little bit and it came off. I blew it off with the air gun, and we're going to take apart the thing and put some new gaskets in it. It's starting to rain here, so I may have to pack this up and go inside. All right, let's see, the rain stopped. I'll take this screw out of this side of the carb here. Okay, see if we can pop this off. Whoa. All right, these gaskets aren't that bad. I do want to replace them as long as we're in here. You know, it'd be foolish not to replace these gaskets on a saw that's 40 something years old, as long as we're tuning it up, we'll say. So here's our new kit, K10 HDC. I got this on eBay. It was maybe $7.99 or something. It's OEM Walbro. So I'll take it apart, or open this up and try to match the gasket to the one that's in there, and we'll come back to you. All right, I got it cleaned out. So first we're going to put this gasket here in, and then we got this gasket here, goes on top of that. Let's see, there we go. And we'll just put this to the side for a minute. Now we got to get that screen out of there, so I'm going to use one of these picks here and stab it in there and fish it out. Okay, the screen is out. It's hard to see, but it's all rusted and clogged with crap, so we'll put that to the side, and we'll take this new screen out of the bag and push that in there. All right, I just tapped it in with the other end of the pick, and that screen should be good. Now we can plop this top back on here, put the screw in, and go over to the other side. All right, let's take this other side apart here. These screws are so loose that they're barely even in there, which is kind of funny. All right, so I just pried it with the screwdriver, and when I did so, I tore the gasket over here. But as expected, it's all dirty, all full of sawdust, so let's proceed with cleaning out this side. And we'll put in the new diaphragm and everything, and we'll put it back together. The way they make these covers, there's holes in there, like little vent holes, like up here. And sawdust just likes to go in those. Happens with all these carbs. So after a while, you get residue in there, and it clogs it up. All right, let's take it apart. We'll be back. I got the gaskets all off. I'm going to cheat here. I'm not actually going to take out the needle valve or go any deeper. I'm just going to put the new diaphragm on and the new gaskets and put her back together and see if we can fire it up. All right, I got the carb all back in and got the choke on, got it all together. I'm going to see if, oh, I never put the recoil on. I was just about to try to start it. but can't do that without the recoil. Yeah, never mind. Okay, the recoil's on. Let's try this again. I think we need a new fuel cap here too, because it's leaking fuel out of the cap. So we'll come back to that, but I didn't put the covers on or anything yet. For now, this is just a test run to see if we can get the start. It's probably going to take a minute to prime all the fuel from the fuel line back into the carburetor. So, I don't know. Let's see. Wants to go. Muffler's got a rotted off bolt holding it on, but yeah, this is awesome, huh? So what we're gonna do is clean out all this junk that's in here and put the air filter back on, and then I got a new spark plug for it, so we're gonna change the spark plug. Score. Well, it started raining now, so I moved the operation inside, and it got cold too. It just feels so damp and nasty. Even though I think it's supposed to be like 50 degrees right now, it feels like it's 20. Anyways, let me show you what we got to finish up. We got to put this air filter cover deal back on. Then this grommet fell out of the case on the other side of the saw. That goes around the high and low needles for the carburetor. And we'll get that sucker put in. And then I think we'll put in the new spark plug, and I wanted to go cut something with it, but not in the rain. I'm not getting soaked. All right, let's get this spark plug out. This thing, it was barely even tight. It's like pretty nasty. Let's see, got a Champion DJ6J. And that is the same plug that I got from Leon's Chainsaw Parts. I'm going to put this nice new plug in there. And the muffler is loose. I don't know what's going on. I took these two screws out, but the muffler doesn't want to come off. It's like there's something keeping it on there. I don't want to force it because I don't know how it's supposed to work. So I may go look at a parts diagram or something and figure that out. I'm almost thinking that there should be a gasket behind it, and the gasket is missing, so you can't get it tight. But it's so loud because of that muffler situation, so we got to figure out a resolution for that still. All right, so for the moment you've all been waiting for, I'm going to try to cut some wood with it. Just got a dead branch that fell off a maple tree. It's kind of an old petrified piece of wood, but let's give it a shot. Well, we got the old Homelite going good now. I forget the year, it's either a 78 or a 79, but he's never done anything to it the whole time he's owned it. So that's pretty impressive. To have any saw that lasts that long with no maintenance is pretty amazing. And all we did was basic crap fuel lines, nothing crazy. We'll have to investigate that muffler still. All right, so I want to investigate this loose rattling muffler here. And that will be the last thing I do before I give it back to him. So from what I gather, the muffler is two pieces, and this top section here like pops off of the rest of the body of the muffler. But I don't know. I had these screws out already and I couldn't get it off. I think I just got to try a little harder. All right, I figured it out here. Ooh, I put a screwdriver over here. It just went like this and it came right out. So let's see how nasty this thing is. Oh yeah, piston's a little scored from carbon. Figured that. Well, it's just loose where it mounts onto the block. So let me take those two screws out and we'll come back. All right, let's see here. Got the muffkin off, and yeah, there is a lot of carbon in the exhaust port here. And what happens is it'll build up and rub the piston. And you can see the side of the piston is wiped from the carbon buildup. Are we going to do anything about it? No, but I'm going to try to scrape out the carbon that's in there using maybe a wooden instrument, and we'll clean all this crap up and put it back together. And you know, it is what it is. The saw doesn't operate, it's not a daily driver here. It might run an hour or two a year. If a tree falls down, he's got to cut it up. That's about it. It's not like an arborist using it every single day, but the piston is wiped. All right, so the muffler itself isn't so bad, but what you got to do is you got to clean off this surface here where it goes on the exhaust port. Make sure there's no carbon on that, and this feels fine. Yeah, there's some crap built up in here, but it's not restricting anything or anything like that. It's just rusty metal that's 45 years old. So I think if I'm going to wire brush the back of it over here with the handheld wire brush, just this thing. And I sprayed some carb cleaner in here, trying to just soak up some of that carbon. I scraped off as much as I could. I'll try to just soak up the rest of it with some solvents here. And then we'll put it back together, and that's going to be it. And the fuel cap we'll come back to. That's a simple thing, but I'm going to give the saw back to him 2 days from now, and hopefully he'll be happy. All right, so I got it as cleaned out as it's going to be, and there's 3 screws in here that we're going to tighten up, and then hopefully that will resolve our loose muffler situation here, and she'll be good to go. All right, a muffler is not really doing too much, to be honest with you. It's just a can with a grate on the front, basically. Oh yeah, this is great. He's going to be happy with this muffkin here. Let's see, a top screw. Just hit them all one more time. Oh yeah, nice tight muffkin. Then we got the top here to put on, which, how does it go? It goes this way. And it just wedges in there, just like so. Okay, and we got these 2 kind of like special screws here that go in there. And there's one, and here's the other. When I was initially diagnosing it, I figured that these were 2 through bolts that went all the way through, and I'm thinking, man, I'm going to snap those suckers off the block or some bad thing. I didn't realize that they were just little screws that held essentially the cap on the muffler. All right, so that's a wrap on the super easy Homelite automatic. Here's the last screw, the last turn, and nice tight muffler now. We should be good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this series on the Homelite super easy automatic. And the next saw we got to finish fixing is the steel. Get that thing oiling. So stay tuned for another video on the other saw.